New York's most dangerous vigilante just crossed the line. 3 cops dead. Wall Street in flames. Explosives. Gunfire. Chaos. But one detail changes everything. The Punisher used a strange device to escape by swinging between buildings. As Frank gets to his van, checking the surroundings and making sure he's not being followed, Spider-Man suddenly web-slings his handgun away. The web-slinger then shows him how he feels about the whole situation.
But you used one of my web shooters to get into that building. You used something I created to kill. And let me tell you, Frank, buddy, pal, that kind of ticks me off,
he says as he knocks the Punisher's teeth out. They proceed to chat, and as Spidey thinks that he's got Frank in his hands, believing he'll bring a stop to his rampage, the Punisher shoots through his own car windows and breaks free from Spidey's web. They exchange blows, while Spider-Man shows him that he's got the upper hand. It almost seems too easy. Yet that's when something abnormal happens. Peter's spider sense strangely goes off for a brief instant. At that moment, the Punisher launches a chemical grenade at Peter. These are particularly effective against Spider-Man due to his enhanced senses in biology.
Cheater.
I don't want to hurt you, but you're not giving me a choice.
The Punisher subsequently gets away, taking Spider-Man's web-slinger with him again. At the Avengers Tower, all the heroes are oddly present, with everyone questioning who made the call to gather them all.
I made the call. There's something I want to discuss. Someone I want to discuss. The Punisher. It's time we brought him in.
However, even though for Peter the Punisher was an obvious threat, the other heroes didn't share the same opinion. They weren't taking him seriously, rushing to more important matters. Spider-Man insisted that they consider him a real threat, believing his murderous actions should be brought to justice. At this point, Captain America intervened.
Spider-Man's right. By letting the Punisher go free, we are condoning what he does. We're saying we only defend the lives of the just. When we do that, we put ourselves above the law. Worse, we're making our own law.
After that convincing argument, they eventually decide to take care of the Punisher. They choose to send Natasha for the job. Peter wants to come too, but they see him as too invested in this affair, planning to figure something out to trap the Punisher for good. However, during this meeting, there was someone who stood there without saying a word until the very end.
Logan, you have a problem with this?
Difference between you and me, maybe. You believe in the best captain. Me, I believe some people deserve to die.
At Long Island, in an abandoned farm, the Punisher is preparing himself for war, taking weapons from his underground arsenal. That's when he hears a friendly voice calling. It's Logan. He talks to the Punisher, and, as Wolverine thought, the Punisher didn't really kill those cops. Still, he warns him that the Avengers are after him. They destroy all evidence of their presence before going their separate ways. Back at Rikers Island, Cole Alves is being interrogated. We learn that she has the death sentence, yet she can avoid it by admitting that she was brainwashed by Frank. If she reveals his whereabouts, she could be spared. However, she stays loyal to him, saying that what she did was her own crimes, refusing to tell where Frank is even if she knew. Back at the Avengers Tower, Wolverine and Black Widow discuss the situation. We learn that the one interrogating Sergeant Cole was none other than Natasha in disguise. She reveals that she did some digging, knowing that Wolverine let the Punisher escape. Logan doesn't deny it, asking what she's going to do now.
Now I am going to find the Punisher.
It's a big world. Good luck with that.
Logan, I don't use luck.
We then see Natasha going all around the world, from Ukraine to Italy to France to Algeria, all the way to the Saharan desert, following the traces of the Punisher and his own so-called deadly justice, asking his whereabouts all around the world, investigating anything that could lead to him. It's only in the Nigerian desert, when they investigate his victims, that they finally have a clue. Ivory. When Natasha is searching for him in the deep forest of the Democratic Republic of Congo, she is betrayed by her escort. Yet it's an easy task for her to take care of these men, nothing more than a morning exercise to her. However, as she ties those men up, she notices that something is wrong.
You're here. You're here. You're watching.
She takes cover as fast as lightning, remaining on full alert. She felt his presence.
Your friend, Sergeant Cole Alves. She's going to die for you, Captain. She'll be found guilty in the eyes of the law, and they will execute her.
I don't have any friends, and the only law here is me.
They aim their guns at each other. In an instant, the Punisher tries to disarm her, but she counters him, throwing him to the ground. Both get up, gazing at each other, ready to end it all right there. Skills, agility, strength, everything is used to get the upper hand in this fierce battle. Yet then, in the midst of the battle, Frank decides to run. Black Widow goes after him. She can't let him escape after a whole month of searching all around the world. Surprisingly, he leads her to a view that will leave her stunned. Children suffering in hunger, in poverty, in war. In this instant, the Punisher gave her two choices: either go after him, capturing him, or take care of these sick children. As Black Widow, she couldn't bear to see these kids in pain, so she stays there for some time. She informs Cap, who completely understands. They have to send the big guns now, with Thor more than ready to take matters into his own hands. Fast forward a few days. Sergeant Cole is found guilty, while Natasha is back from her humanitarian aid in Ivory Coast. Spider-Man at the Avengers Tower is still in shock that he let her go. Yet he understands that her help was needed elsewhere. Still, he's worried about letting a serial killer on the loose. Black Widow reassures him that he's already getting taken care of. And she's right. Because in the south of Palu in Indonesia, Thor, God of Thunder, is already investigating in a blazing way the locals who are hunted by Frank Castle. They try to resist and put Thor down. But those mere bullets can't do much to his thick skin. However, to Thor's surprise, all this was only bait. The Punisher uses those guards as distraction, using them to rocket launch Thor. Yet in the middle of the flames, the God of Thunder stands up and mutters,
"I am no man's bait."
Even after the explosion, due to his great physical abilities, Odinson stands tall, rushing at the Punisher with his hammer. Yet Frank escapes, driving directly through a camp of those criminals. He bursts through the fence, causing havoc in the camp. Shots fired in all directions, vehicles exploding. It's a real mess. As Frank shoots down every soldier in the camp without receiving any damage, Thor is impressed by his skill and strength. Still, he wants to talk to Frank Castle. That was his main mission. So he decides to end the battle, effortlessly putting a term to this chaos with a single blow of thunder. That blow even destabilizes the Punisher, yet even then he tries to fight his way out with Thor. However, he ends up getting knocked out by the hero Odinson. Several hours later, the Punisher wakes up to Thor, yet this time not as a threat, but just a friend.
"You are awake. Good. Now we can talk. And drink."
Thor tosses a beer to him, going to sit next to him.
You do drink, don't you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes is better than never. Ale is one of the pleasures of life. Even this urine-flavored swill.
A light-hearted comment that Thor is giving. Yet he then asks a very deep question to the Punisher.
Or have you abandoned all life in pursuit of your war, Punisher?
The war is my life.
Then you fight for nothing. Drink with me.
They open the cans, sharing a drink. However, as the Punisher was expecting to get taken down by Thor, he clarifies that for now he's only here to give him advice from a warrior to another.
I know you, Punisher. I know you very well indeed.
You don't know me at all.
I know your madness. Your life is a battle and nothing more. This world is your battlefield and nothing else. The blood roars in your ears and the song of it plays in your heart. What began in pain and rage is now lost in that sound.
He adds that Frank doesn't know how to stop fighting, believing it's now time to let it be. To stop making a war just so he can keep fighting, because that's all he knows. He also adds that Sergeant Cole is going to die, asking if she's a righteous sacrifice for his idea of justice. Frank stays silent like he has nothing to say, and Thor ends the discussion.
It is time to hang up your weapons, to let your war end.
After this talk, the Avengers are not convinced that the Punisher will stop because of a lecture given by Thor. They know that he will strike again, specifically to save Sergeant Cole from the death penalty. The injection day is very near, making it his last chance to save her. Natasha then explains how the Punisher will be moving to preserve his anonymity and to stay invisible. She explains that he will have only one opening window to save her, which is when Sergeant Cole will be in court. They choose to ambush him at this very moment. However, the night before court day, the Punisher busts into his old friend's hideout in New York. He takes two of the guards, making them wear the Punisher's signature skull bulletproof vest. He's preparing for the big day. Meanwhile, in a bar, Captain America visits Logan, telling him to stand aside this time, in case he'll be switching sides.
You think you can handle the Punisher alone? You're wrong. The only one of you who hasn't underestimated him is Natasha. You need me.
Maybe, but I can't trust you.
Yet after Cap refused, Logan just accepted it, continuing with his evening.
Your choice. Your funeral.
When the court day finally arrives, everyone is in place, watching for the Punisher to take the bait and show up. As the van transporting Sergeant Cole goes far in the distance, it explodes, as expected. The Avengers rush out, preparing for a fierce battle with the Punisher. However, to their surprise, all this was just a facade. The Punisher knew that Cole wouldn't be in the van, which was correct. It was Natasha all along. Punisher waited in court with Sergeant Cole in Iron Man's costume after he knocked him out last night. He was waiting for Spider-Man to return, and when he did, he blasted his brain out. With Spider-Man taken down and all the others distracted, he could finally run away with his accomplice. However, as the Avengers understand how they got bamboozled, they track him ASAP, knowing he couldn't get that far away, since he stole Iron Man's suit after sneaking up on him last night. Tony's tracker is still on the suit. So Iron Man gets there first, and after some investigation, he finds the suit unattended, approaching it. Yet as he touches it, he gets caught in the Punisher's trap again. However, he braves an explosion, taking some damage and getting back up.
He booby-trapped the armor, didn't he?
I think I hate this guy.
Back at Rye Playland, an abandoned theme park, we see the Sergeant and the Punisher finally reunited, sharing a warm moment.
You shouldn't have come back for me, Captain. I'm guilty. They found me guilty.
We're guilty, Sergeant.
The Sergeant then changes, and the Punisher gives her some money, some ID, plus a gun just in case. He then asks Logan to take care of her, getting her out of there.
Now get out of here.
Wait, you're not coming with me?
It's the Avengers, Sergeant. There was only ever one way this would end.
So you're going to stay here and lose? What the hell were you thinking? You just sacrificed the whole mission for me. Why would you do that?
The mission isn't the man, Sergeant. It never was.
Go.
As Logan and Cole leave, the Punisher awaits his final battle, knowing he's going to lose. But he won't go down easy. When Iron Man arrives, he senses something. There are still the old clothes, arms, etc. He investigates furthermore, noticing the trap of the Punisher this time, laser trip wires.
You're going to have to do better than that.
Yet as he finishes his sentence, the Punisher fires a flamethrower at him, which launches him into the air, causing the armor severe burns.
Spider-Man's never going to let me hear the end of this.
Iron Man then rushes towards Frank, but Frank came prepared. He dodges all Iron Man's attacks, constantly taking cover. Yet once there wasn't any cover anymore, becoming trapped by Iron Man, he threw a smoke grenade. A desperate attempt, maybe. Well, no. Because as Iron Man uses his sensors to locate him, the Punisher spams shots to his face, with things seeming in his favor, until the Avengers assemble.
You've got this under control, I see.
He's a very good shot, I'll give him that.
Natasha, left. Thor, overflight cover. Spider-Man, right. Iron Man, down the middle. Circle and close. Carefully.
As they approach him, Thor aims Mjolnir at him.
I have him, warrior!
However, right before his throw, Frank uses Spider-Man's web-slinging device he took from him in the beginning and blinds him. Luckily for the Avengers, Natasha uses this as a distraction, rushing at him with a flying kick, putting him down for a few instants. Right there, Spider-Man seizes the opportunity to get him.
You webbed Thor in the face, which is not to say I haven't thought of doing that myself, but stop using my stuff for bad things.
Yet as he spoke, the Punisher closed distance, pulled a shotgun to his chest, shooting him down. Black Widow then rushes to try and put an end to it all, which escalates into the second part of their fierce battle.
I said before that this would end in death. Why did you have to prove me right?
At that exact moment, as Frank aims at her with his pistol, she tases him, immobilizing him for a second. Mjolnir then comes out of nowhere, bursting through the gun, breaking it into pieces. Not only that, but simultaneously, Iron Man blasts him from behind. Natasha runs at him to kick his face down. There he is, the legendary Punisher, lying there. Still, as a last resort, he tries to take out a smoke grenade, but Spider-Man stops him right there.
You're done, Frank. It's over. It is finished. Let it end.
No.
Yet that's when finally his brother-in-arms decides to put an end to it all. Not through an attack, but through his honor as a soldier, as brothers-in-arms, as a general.
Mission accomplished. Congratulations. Now you will stand down, Marine. That's an order.
And finally, the Punisher accepts it. that the war is over.
Sir. Yes, sir.
What's remarkable is that for a man branded as a cold-blooded killer, Frank showed restraint when facing the Avengers. The shotgun blast that took down Spider-Man? Rubber bullets. The pistol aimed at Black Widow? Completely unloaded. Even in his final stand, the Punisher drew a line he wouldn't cross. With Frank defeated, Sergeant Cole takes the role of the Punisher to continue his legacy, continuing to instate this harsh aspect of justice. For the real Punisher, in the end, he's put into a solitary prison deep in the ocean, where it's impossible to break out from the inside. However, from the outside, that's a story for another day. That's all for now. We hope you liked this video and would love to know your thoughts about it in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Feel free to watch the next one as well. We'll see you soon. Take care.